as a leader, I have to make sure that I am on point, right? And I create the synergy for my company, right? So if I'm off, my company's off, which gives me a lot of pressure because sometimes I'm off. So I have to make sure what I'm doing with each and every person is cohesive. I have to make sure that I'm collectively making sure that if I'm having a conversation with one particular team member, that I'm not stepping on the other team member. There's a lot to really think about. So in the beginning of my organization, I wanted to help people. That's why therapists pretty much do what we do. We can't really put food on our table sometimes. We're so involved and immersed in helping people that we forget about ourselves in my industry. It's not easy to run an organization. I have 10 total in my organization. I can tell you in the beginning, I think I talked about this last time, I had a lot of turnover. I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know how to connect. I didn't know how to manage. I didn't know how to give people what they needed. And I wasn't hiring the right people, right? So manage up, manage down. I hope some of the tools I gave you last time, you're able to utilize. But we were just kind of recapping a little bit from the last time. I am gonna go through that a little bit for you guys to recap a little bit, but we're just doing a little bit of round robin of how these techniques maybe helped you guys. And I was getting ready to tell a story that sometimes, we're in the world, we don't get listened to, right? People aren't listening to us because people are moving, keep it moving, keep it moving, keep it moving. So slowing down and really listening to people is important. But I also have done that to people out there, like my eyeglass company, where I went to get my contacts after COVID. What I hear you saying is, this is my same prescription, but it takes longer, does it, from before COVID? What I hear you saying is, it is the exact same prescription that I've had, nothing's changed. I came in and paid for a visit, right, with the same prescription. He sent me home with the same prescription that still works for me, and I need to come back and have a follow-up visit. I'm just curious. My mom used to say this, you know what I'm gonna say, right? Catch more flies with honey than vinegar, right? We really, really do, right? This is a thing. So we do catch more flies with honey. And if we can be, not all the time, but you know what? I can't do it all the time. And when I can't do it, I hope those karmic points are gonna play for me, right? When I can't do it, I feel like I've had enough points where I'll be okay. Literally in the back of my head, I'm like clicking up karmic points because I'm not always gonna be in the right headspace to have these conversations. Not all the time. Does that make sense? But if we can help each other, right? If I turn towards you, it's a +1. If I'm turning away from you, it's a -5. It's the 5-to-1 ratio. If I say thank you for doing this, but nothing good comes after a but. I know you guys heard that. It's a -5. So just be mindful when we're doing this. You guys are doing great here. That to build that positive bank, because there will be a negative now. If you need to take a break, then say that. Say, hey guys, that's a stone wall when I just leave. But if I go, guys, I need a minute, or in your own words, I say take a beat. It's important that they know this is home too, with your partners, your kids. This is the same kind of thing. Because if I leave a conversation, you're talking to me and I go, and I leave the conversation, who has the power? The person leaving or the person staying?
The person leaving.
Yeah, why?
Because they controlled the conversation and said that wasn't happening right now.
That's right. And you're left feeling powerless. Was this helpful? The generations that we wouldn't ask Dr. Franz for something that I maybe would ask Courtney for, right? The way we talk to each other, a little bit about how her work ethic would be, the way your work ethic is, right? And kind of understanding that, money is at the top of this, but the second level is flexibility. That next level is knowing your people, having these conversations with your people. Training and development are at the bottom. It's flipped for the younger generations. It's flipped for the Gen Zs and the millennials. It's flipped, right? For us down here in the silent generation and the boomers and the X's, we want to learn so we can work more. You guys want to learn so you can not work more, which is fine because we don't understand that. I want to work so I can go on vacation. I want to work because I just want to work more. Yeah, that generation wants to know everyone. Why does she want to know everyone? Do you guys know why? Because the community was very big. Correct. Right? My grandmother had 9 brothers and sisters. My grandfather had like 8. Like the family was huge. That population doesn't come to therapy normally because They had their clergy. They had aunts and uncles when the family was in trouble, or the couple, the older couple would come help. If we needed to hammer the house or whatever, we'd bring our, that's why. She wants community. But the Gen Zs and the millennials, we've taken that a little bit away with social media and the phones, and there's no collectivity anymore, right? We have to, does that make sense? Cohesive. Do you see, I want you guys to know this. I want you to see where you've come and where you are now. It's important to do that. When I'm in my room and my clients are talking, I'm having a really great day. I'm like, why? Why are you having a great day? Well, I don't know. I'm like, well, don't you think we should figure that out? Do you want to have a great day every day? How'd you get here, right? What did you overcome before? It's important to see what we've overcome, right? To see the evolution of things. Tell me.
I don't like the wins because you not always have a win, and she obligates us to give a win even though we don't have one.
Okay, look around the room. See everything that's blue. Look at each other. Look around. Look around. Close your eyes. Tell me everything that was purple.
Chair.
Open your eyes. Why can you not see? Why? Because you're focused on the purple. You feel me? You're focused on the blue. If I tell you to focus on the blue, you're going to see the blue. It's called the reticular activating system. The brain will look for the blue, right? If you're looking for the purple, the brain will look for the purple, okay? You can program this. You've learned this so you can unlearn it. Your neurons fire and wire through a chemical process. Every time you think a thought, it makes a chemical. I'm going to quiz you on this in a minute. Every time you think a thought, it makes a chemical. So when I tell my brain I'm sad, the brain makes a chemical to make me sad. If I'm happy and I tell my brain I'm happy, my brain will follow that and give me the chemicals that make me happy. What happens is, follow me, what happens is we start to fire and wire into the negative neurons, and that neurons becomes deep and dense in our brainstem. This is science. And the next time it does it unconsciously. So if I see the world as no wins, the brain goes, that's no win, that's no win, that's no win. Remember yesterday you didn't have a win? Remember when you were 8? You're like, what? Because the brain only does what you tell it, right? And it deeper and deeper and dense to reinforce that belief. Remember what BS stands for? Belief system. What else does it stand for? Bullshit. Remember, right? We feed. You guys follow me? I'm feeding those neurons over and over and over again. And next time it's unconscious. It's going to find that unwanted thought because now I've programmed it in. No, you can choose or not choose. And this is science. I'm not telling you what to do. So I can choose to hijack my brain back and go into my new story if I want to, but I have to program it. I have to program it to see the purple, but it's only going to see the blue. It's only going to see the no win. Does that make sense? This is not, my life is crap. Your life is crap because you want it to be crap. You're thinking about crap and the brain goes, let me tell you all the crap. This is the crap and this is the crap. Remember yesterday you had crap? Remember when you were 8 you had crap? You've had crap since you were born. Just stay crap. That's what the brain does. Be careful what you attract because what you see is what you think you see. Life can happen for me or to me. They know this. I'm sure you guys are over it. I mean, I'm always in the room. What are we learning? They're like, oh God. But now they come out and go, this is what we're learning. Or I'll go, what do you hear me saying? Sometimes I don't even say that anymore. They go, okay, let me recap. My admin team does this. I don't even say it anymore. I don't come in and go, what do you hear me saying? I used to. I don't anymore because now they're automatically doing it. And when I give them something to do, I want them to feel it. Does that make sense? I want them to feel the reason I'm doing it. I don't want to give them a command and go, just do it. I want them to feel why I'm doing it. Why do I want to do that? Why? Sylvia, why do I want them to feel it? Because if they think about it or they feel about it, what do you think they're going to do first? Thinking or feel? Feel. Oh, absolutely. It's all perspective, but I get to decide what, is this helpful, guys? I get to decide my perspective. And if my belief system gets in the way, that's the deeper work. That's what you can come see us for. There's a belief that tells you you cannot have a win. Make sure you look for all the negative. There's something growing up that got you there because the negative served you. Being on your toes, I don't know, I'm guessing. Being on your toes served you. In your environment, you had to be like, so looking for a win was not programmed in. Is this making sense? What you see is what you're going to get. What you believe is what you're going to feel. That's all true. This is not mystical. I can't teach you mystical stuff up here. I can't teach you the power of now. I can't teach you that. But I can teach you, I know I can't, but you don't believe it. I can't teach you that, but I can teach you the reticular activating system and maybe quote Eckhart Tolle, right? I can tell you that if you fire and wire what you want and what you don't want, your life will change. You know what's awesome about that? What changes, you or your life? You, right? And then your life changes. If you visualize it enough, your brain believes that it only does what you tell it. And then they did, you're gonna love this one, this was my favorite. They did a muscle mass for men over 60, and they had them visualize every day, 2 hours a day for so many weeks. And their muscle mass grew. Like, yep, what? I can just think about going to the gym? I don't have to go? Exactly. And the muscle, and they measured it, and the muscle, this is real stuff, so like I'm not making this up, swear to God. So these are things, right? Imagery is everything, guys. When you imagine this in your mind does not know it's not happening. And if you carry those emotions with you all day long, right? So for instance, if you want to read every day or I want to get closer to God, and I get 3 emotions, I would feel liberated, freedom, and liberated, free, peaceful. Then you program that every day. I'm going to feel more peaceful today. I'm going to feel more liberated. I'm going to feel more free. You flood your brainstem. Remember we talked about the brainstem? So how can you use this in the organization? How can you use this visualization in your organization now? Does this make, now I'm giving you science behind that. I'm not just saying go be positive. I'm not telling you to do that. But now in your organization, you can do that. The only way the brain knows is the breath. Did you guys know this? And everybody breathes when I say that. It's the only way the body knows, right? When we're breathing shallow, we're in our chest area. This is the autonomic system, right? This is the fight, flight, freeze symptom. We're breathing fast, right? Feeling, right? Thinking, right? If you're in your chest breathing all day long, what happens to your line of vision?
Very narrow.
Very narrow. All day long. Are you working harder or smarter when this happens? Harder. Pushing, right? But if you breathe and you open up your peripheral, does this make sense? You know, our culture, you know, where we live in our country, we don't do this. Like, you know, they don't care. The United States is like move in. Lewis and I used to be banquet servers, and we used to be with the pharmaceutical companies and those kinds of things. And they had 30-minute lunches, and you know, they had 30-minute, you know, breakfasts. Remember, the Europeans would come into town, and they would have 3-hour breakfasts, 4-hour lunches, right? We weren't allowed to go to the table. We weren't allowed to pick up their dishes. And I'm like, no wonder they live longer. Well, because they pay for their health care. They want you to be well. Don't be sick. We're going to lose money. Like, I mean, maybe that's the motivation. I don't know. But is this making sense? So it's okay if you guys are moving like this, but find some time to pause, even together. So what can you guys do during the day to pause? Is there something that you guys can do? Is there anything? Breathe. Breathe break.
Making sure everybody has their lunch hours.
Okay. Making sure everybody has a lunch hour. Does that not happen sometimes? Oh, because you guys are just so busy. Is that something that you can help them with? I can try. What are some solutions for this, guys? What are some solutions for the lunch break pause? Do we have any solutions? Is this collectively something we can do? Are you cheering? Or are you putting your hand up? Sylvie's in the back going, I hear you, preach. So that's something you guys can work on together, collectively.